Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. I have a scrapbooking process video for you today, and I am taking a story jump. What does she call it? A story from one of her classes from her subscription kits, and this was on Learn. And so I decided to do a process video and document all of the lessons I've learned that I want to make sure that my kids learn and take with them as they become adults. Um, a lot of it is just about manners, but you know, everyone always needs to have a little reminder of the little things. So I am using white basil cardstock, and I am going to be using my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter typecast to type all of this out. You'll have seen that I used a pencil to mark where I was going to use or do my indent based on where my picture was going to be placed. And this picture has been used in another scrapbooking process video, but I'm okay with that because this is a picture that I have recently with my kids and I wanted to use that. So here are some of the lessons I've learned that I want to impart to my kids. So here we go. Always be kind. Say please and thank you. Stand when someone enters the room. Go to greet your loved ones. Hold the door for others. Let women and the elderly sit in your spot. Smile. You might make someone's day. Pick up after yourself. Do random acts of kindness. Try your best, because nobody's perfect. Love yourself. Remember you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Remember how blessed you are and help those that are less fortunate. Do community service. Don't forget your friends when you start dating. Look around and notice. Compliment someone. Make others feel special. Laugh until tears fall and your abs hurt. Travel often and experience as much as you can. Words matter. Tell the truth and apologize for your mistakes. So those are the lessons that I wanted. I probably could have done a lot more, but then I ran out of space. Who knew I had so much advice to impart to my kids? And one thing I do notice now in retrospect is I forgot to put a date on it. So I will be using a date stamp and putting a date on there. So I'm using my white eraser to erase my margin marks, and I'm going to be placing that lessons learned. That wood veneer is from the Ali Edwards story kit. And I'm using the We Are Memory Keep, no, I'm using the Tombow Mono multi-adhesive to adhere this, and I'm just putting glue in certain areas to put down onto the paper. So I had marked where I was going to put that so I knew where my journaling was going to go. So after that, I'm using this picture. This picture was taken on Mother's Day, and like I said before, I've scrapbooked this picture before. I'm going through her Learn kit, and I decide I'm not going to use that. So I go to my Cocoa Vanilla Midnight kit because I had been using that for other layouts, and so I still had it out. So I decided to use the Cocoa Vanilla Midnight kit for this as well. But the story was started from her Ali Edwards story class, which is super amazing. I get so many ideas of what to scrapbook, and that's probably why I have a lot of words on a lot of my journaling. Okay, so I'm layering this picture up, and I'm using scraps of paper that I have from my Cocoa Vanilla kit. I'm using my ATG gun to adhere the pieces, and some of the pieces, like I'm going to be use one that's scripty, and you can't see that much of the script, but if you look closely on the top where I've layered it, you can read that it says love you to pieces and believe in yourself. I love that you can just see parts of that. So I do like to just use scraps of paper. People ask me why I use such beautiful paper and hide it, but I don't see it that way. I see it as I'm using beautiful pieces of paper and I know what's behind the paper, so I'm perfectly content with that. Plus, I like a lot of white space on my layouts. Okay, so after I get done layering pieces of this, I like to make sure my layers don't ever line up with other pieces of layers. So that's why they're all just a little off. Remember, nobody's perfect, nothing's perfect, and so I, I implement that as well on my layout. I was just making sure that my white cardstock was on the grid correctly so that I can make sure it was lined up correctly. I use my Tim Holtz scissors to cut this frame that I'm using, and then I'm using my roller adhesive, which is the Kokio adhesive. It's my favorite roller adhesive, and I'm putting that under my photos, and I'm putting it to the top left and bottom right. Now I'm moving my picture, and thank goodness for repositionable tape, because I decided I want to use this vase with flowers in it on the bottom left hand portion of my layout. That way it's a diagonal foundation, and it goes from top left to bottom, no, top right to bottom left, the other right. But I need to ground the vase, so I will do that in just a second. I'm going to use a tab that says take note, and I'm putting that to the top left. I'm also going to use this flag that says wonderful, and I'm going to use that to ground my vase so it's not just floating in the bottom there. I'm going to use my Tombow Mono multi-adhesive to adhere the chipboard down. I probably could have used my roller adhesive, but you'll see here that I'm going to be moving things around a lot, and so I'm glad my the adhesive and glue doesn't glue down right away, because I do pick up a lot. For example, I want to put this flower underneath the wood veneer, but some of it was glued down too hard, or already glued down well, so I end up not using that flower. But I do end up using some of the transparent stickers that came with the kit. So I'm going to lift the lessons learned wood veneer. You'll see here I'm going to struggle a little bit, but I'm putting that tape under so that everything is touching. I like all my embellishments to be touching so that they're grouped together. See, I'm struggling. If I planned this better, I would have done that before I glued down the wood veneer. Okay, I'm also going through the rest of my embellishments, and this collection came with some beautiful embellishments. Now they have some vellum flowers that came in an embellishment, and I'm going to use my glossy accents to try to adhere that, but it's clogged. It won't work. I ended up having to throw that out, so I'm going to have to buy some glossy accents here in the near future. So I'm putting glue where you won't see it under my lessons learned. So I end up using my Scotch quick dry adhesive. I'm still struggling. I'm like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. I don't win. So I end up using my Scotch quick dry adhesive. I have it in a fine line bottle. I'll have all the items linked down below in case you're interested. And I like the fine line bottle because it has a precise tip, so I know exactly where I'm putting the adhesive. I do use more flowers, and I'm going to put some of the vellum flowers to the top left hand side of my photo. So my embellishment clusters are going to be where the lessons learned, the top left of my photo, and also the bottom left hand of my layout. That makes a triangle because you're always looking to have even numbers and triangles so that the eye flows, so that it is attractive to the eye and it has a place where it needs to go in the triangular formation. I do put a heart chipboard on the lessons learned. It's hard to see there, but in real life you can see the dimensions, and it's just gorgeous there. I put another heart to the top left of my photo, and I'm going to go through and put more vellum hearts to the top left of my photo because I wanted to be a little more weighty in that embellishment cluster, because the embellishment cluster on the bottom with the vase is pretty heavy. So I'm putting more leaves there in the top left of the photo. I also am going to put a sticker with X's, a transparent sticker right under the vase. How are you supposed to say that, people? I've heard that if the vase is over $100, you call it vase, and if it's less than, you call it vase. Anyone know? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, after I do that, I am looking to see if there's anything else I want to add. And like I said, I forgot to put the date, so I will go ahead and do that. I put a transparent arrow sticker on the top of the photo. And let's see, I think that's it. Next, I'm going to put bullets on the my lessons that I want to impart on my kids, and I'm using a T-ruler so that the dots will be somewhat lined up. And I'm just going to use my Nuvo Drops in Indigo Eclipse. This is beautiful because it's like a pearlized indigo, violet, blue, and it's got a beautiful shift to it. So I'm dotting all of those, and then I call my layout done. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. In this video, I should say. If you enjoyed this, please remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload a video. And please, if you would do me the favor of sharing these videos with anyone who you think might be interested in these scrapbook process videos, I would really appreciate that. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.